Hi Janice, it's good to see you again. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay.
Okay, well I want to review what we did the last time. The last time I met with you, we completed a depression scale and you said that you were still feeling kind of depressed, you were feeling a little down and you were feeling kind of lonely and those were some things that you wanted to work on because you want to feel better. And I know that you had the hospital stay a while back and that you were very adamant that you wanted to manage your depression at home and not to have to go back to the hospital. And I just wanted to check in with you and see how you're doing with your depression. Are you still feeling some of that?
Yeah, I like being at home. That's a lot better. Like I have all of my stuff and my books and things, but I'm still feeling pretty lonely. It can get pretty sad sitting in this house by myself and everything, and I don't want to bother the kids because I know they got lives and they got families, and I just know they're busy. I don't want to bug them.
Okay, well, I want to talk about that a little bit, something that you just said. Um, First of all, let me go ahead and validate that it is hard when you're alone. I know that you told me that, you got divorced many years ago and that you've been alone since then and that you have your children and your grandchildren, but that your children are grown now and that you worry about reaching out to them too much and you kind of feel like you're a burden and I heard you say just now that you don't want to call them because you feel like you're bothering them. I'd like to explore with you a little bit about where that belief comes from. Is there something in your past, in the family that you grew up with, or I know that while you were married, is there something that happened that made you feel like you were a bother to the family?
Well, maybe I just felt like even married, like it was kind of more, you know, my duty to kind of run the house and keep the kids and stuff like that, and I just never really got a chance to kind of express how I felt or say anything about my emotions because I was so focused on everyone else's. I have to keep everyone else happy and I have to make sure everyone's fed and the house is cleaned, and so I just always put everyone before me. I never really focused on myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I heard you say was that you felt like your role in the family was to be a caregiver
Yeah.
and that it was your job to make sure that, everyone had everything they needed and, maybe sometimes it felt like you were just running around doing things for other people constantly and you never really thought about you and what did you need because you were so busy running around helping other people with their needs.
Yeah. I mean, I mean that's really it. It's just I've always taken care of people, and now um, I'm 69 and I'm here by myself, and I just don't feel like I have a purpose anymore. Like the house is empty. I mean, I'm thankful that I'm still vertical. I'm still alive, but I mean, I'm just what point is it?
Mhm. Mhm. Sure. Okay. So now, do you think that when you were growing up in your family of origin with your mom and dad, did you feel like that also that you had to be a caregiver?
Yeah, I think I took on a lot of responsibilities and stuff when I was young to take care of the siblings and stuff like that, being the oldest one.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, tell me a little bit more about that. What were your parents like? Were they there for
The,
you and the siblings, or was there an issue there?
I feel like they were there for me, but they were very busy. I mean, I feel like they took care of our needs and stuff, but it kind of fell on me to kind of run the household and stuff.
Okay. Okay. So your parents were very busy. They were working. Is
Yes.
that
Yeah.
okay? So, So they worked jobs where they worked a lot of hours and they weren't really there for you and your brothers and sisters, and they kind of put it off on you to be the caregiver, and you sort of had to be like a substitute mother for your siblings.
Yeah, I felt like that. I mean, I feel like my mom, she always kind of had a bit of anxiety and stuff, so it kind of, you know, she rested a lot when she got home, and it kind of just fell on me to kind of pick up the role and, pick up those pieces.
Mhm. Sure, absolutely. Well, that sounds like it would be really hard, and it sounds like maybe you didn't have much of a childhood yourself.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
Mhm. So it kind of got instilled in you from a very early age that that was your job, that your job was to take care of other people, and you were going around doing things for them and taking care of the siblings, and then you got married and you were taking care of your spouse, and then
Hmm.
the kids came along and you were taking care of them, and there really wasn't any time for you.
Yeah, that's been my life.
Mhm. That sounds like it would be really hard and really difficult.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you think that kind of plays into your depression a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it does. And I feel like just, like being lonely and stuff right now. And I just hate bothering people. So I feel like, that's a big component in it too.
Mhm. Okay. I understand. So you have your kids and you have your grandkids, but you feel lonely because, they have their own family and they're doing their own thing, and you don't have that former role where you were the caregiver.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes you feel like you're left with nothing
Right.
then.
I don't have a purpose now. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So let's explore that a little bit. You feel like you're a burden to your family and that you feel like you don't have a purpose. Um, I would like to do a technique with you where it's called cognitive behavioral therapy, and
Okay.
where we examine that belief. We know where the belief comes from now, so
Yeah.
that's good. That can help us to know where it comes from. And I'd like to examine that and look at, what the evidence is for that belief. And then I'd like to talk about what evidence there is against that belief.
Okay.
And part of this cognitive behavioral therapy involves taking thoughts that might be a little bit self-defeating and replacing them with new thoughts. But
Okay.
can you tell me what is it that you think supports these beliefs that you have? What in your life do you feel like says that this is true, that, you
Mhm.
don't have a purpose and that you're a burden?
Yeah. I guess it's just, the kids don't really call a whole lot. Um, so I think that maybe supports it, that I'm alone, and I know they care about me. I know they love me. It's just they don't have time for me.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So, when they do call, do you feel like you have a good relationship with them when they do call or visit?
Yeah, I feel like when I see them, when I'm talking to them, when I'm spending time with the grandkids and stuff, like that's when I'm happy. I feel good then.
Mhm. Okay, so that makes you feel better when you get to see your kids and you get to see your grandkids and it goes well.
Yeah.
So would that be some evidence against the belief that you're a burden? I mean, does the family or the kids or the grandkids say anything to you that reinforces the belief?
Do they say anything that make me feel like a burden?
Mhm.
No, no, they would never. They don't say nothing like that. They tell me they love me and they enjoy, the times that we spend together and the activities that I do with the grandkids and stuff.
Okay. Good. Good. So, it sounds like uh, they don't see you as a burden, even though you may see yourself as a burden.
Yeah.
They don't see you as a burden. They seem
Yeah.
to have a good time when you're together, when you're visiting. and everything seems to go well. So, and they haven't ever said anything to you that's, sort of like, Mom, don't call, well, we can't, see you. So it's quite possible then that you're not a burden to
Yeah.
them. What do you
No,
think
that
about that?
no, I think that makes sense. I mean, I kind of laying it all out there. It's kind of it helps a little bit to kind of, I guess, organize all your thoughts and stuff.
Mhm. Absolutely. Okay. So, how would you feel about initiating contact with them? Have you thought about that? Because you said it feels like they don't call very much, and I do understand that that can be discouraging because
Yeah.
you're there and you're alone, you're lonely, and it feels good when they reach out. Um, but how would you feel about initiating that contact with them?
Yeah, I would feel, maybe like once a week call them or something. I don't want to overstep or anything because I know that they're working and they have busy lives and stuff. But I feel like that would maybe help me is once a week call each of them. And the holidays are coming up, so I can write them some Christmas cards and stuff like that.
Mhm. Okay, that's a great idea.
Mhm.
I love it. So you could possibly make a goal
Okay.
that you're going to reach out to them once a week.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, and you feel comfortable with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay, well, I would like to introduce to you another homework assignment.
Okay.
It's called a thought record. I'm going to provide you with a worksheet. And
Okay.
what we need to do is some of those thoughts that you're having, that you're a burden or that you don't have a purpose, sometimes that can lead into some of these sad and depressed feelings.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I would like for us to think of, now that we've come up with some evidence that
Mhm.
quite possibly you're not a burden to your
Mhm.
family, I would
Yeah.
like for us to come up with a thought that you can use when those thoughts come up and you start feeling like, well, I'm a burden. Well, I don't have a
Mhm.
purpose. What do you think you could say to yourself instead?
Yeah, I could say that, my kids love me, my family loves me, and I'm not a burden, I'm important.
Mhm. Yeah, it's very true. I think that's a very true statement. In fact, you've recalled several times that you've spent time with your family and they've been very happy to be around you. So
Mhm.
I would love for you to use these thought records, and every time that thought comes up, I want you
Mhm.
to think about the times and the good memories that you've had with them and how they've enjoyed being around you,
Okay.
and use that thought record. And I want you to record how you're feeling
Mhm.
before and after you try that thought replacement.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay, and now we've talked about your family, but what about your people in the building with you at the apartment property? Do you have a friendship with any of your neighbors?
Well, I have one neighbor that, she always asks me to go to different activities and groups and bingo and stuff like that with her, but um, so it takes a lot of motivation to get out. So usually I turn her down, but I think that's something I'd like to work on though. I want to do some fun things and not always have to rely on my family, I guess, to when I'm feeling down.
I am so proud of you.
Mhm.
I love what you just said. You said that you want to get out
Mhm.
and that you want to spend time with people and that you want to have fun. And
Yeah.
look at how far you've come from when you were in the hospital and you were having the issues, and you came home and you've been going through these sessions, and when we first started working together, you didn't want to leave your unit.
Mhm.
And so it's so great that you've developed that initiative, that you want to get out. How would you feel about reaching out to your neighbor,
Mhm.
and planning an outing with her?
Yeah, I know she would love it. So I think that's definitely something that I want to make a goal of to reach out to her and for us to go out together and stuff, even if it's just to have lunch at first and then maybe do like an activity and just to get out of the house. It would feel good. And I'm
Hmm.
proud of the progress I'm making too. I mean, I'm excited.
Okay. Okay, that's great. I think that's a wonderful plan. And so we're going to meet again this time next week.
Okay.
And what I would like for you to do before we meet again is I want you to try to do three things, okay?
Okay.
I want you to start using the thought records that I'm
Mhm.
gonna give you the worksheet. Work on that.
Okay.
And I want you to call your daughter or son.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get together with them before we meet again, at least have that phone conversation and maybe make a future plan, because sometimes it can help when we have something to look forward to.
Okay.
And I'd
Okay.
also like for you to reach out to your neighbor and
Mhm.
try to discuss what type of outing you guys could do together for fun. And I want you to report back to me next week when we meet. Will that be
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, great. You feel comfortable with that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you're doing great. I'm really proud of the progress that you've made, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.